High vibes, everybody. Wanted to get on here today and make a quick video. Um, I had made an Instagram video the other day about setting standards and about utilizing your time. Both of those really tie in together, so I really wanted to get a little bit deeper into those things. So I'm out here at the park. I'm out charging up, meditating. Enjoying this nice soul that we got here today. Getting those negative ions from the water. But I wanted to go into more about setting standards. So when I say set standards, everybody's like, okay, that's a certain level that you want to be able to get to, or or a certain level that you want to be able to have as your start as a base point. So you really want to make sure that you have a starting point, and once you set this starting point, you want to stick to it. Now, when you want to get into the basics of, like when you're setting this starting point, you actually want to, you want to make sure that it's within balance. You don't want to have your starting point too high or your starting point too low, because if your starting point is too high, then saying you won't be able to actually achieve those goals and actually have those things happen for you, because you're striving for something that you're not going to do, or something that's kind of unattainable for you to do. And then on the opposite spectrum, if you set it too low, then saying you might be on the have the thoughts of like, oh, why does it even matter? Saying it's only a little bit here or a little bit there, so it really doesn't matter if I miss it out on it. But it does, because you set this. This is something that you are putting your intentions into. Your intentions are very powerful. So if you can't stick to that, that could have other effects, because you're putting your intentions out there that you're going to do something. So you got to make sure that once you start setting those intentions to do certain things, that you go ahead and start following through. Now, at first it might be hard, because I've been there many times. It's going to be hard for you to be like, okay, let me start getting on this. But you got to start transforming that mentality to be like, okay, it's not something that I just want to do, something I have to do, I need to do, something that I want to do. You know what I mean? It's something that, that's going to help me out in the long run, short run, and all around, within and without. It's going to not only help me, it's going to help those around me. So, once you start thinking that way, it'll make it a lot easier, for you to start getting into the swing of things, ooh, sorry about that. But, this takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It might not even happen within a week or two, because, you got to stay consistent with it. But you got to be able to find the time to do that, and that's why, when I was making that other video and I was talking about, when you look at exactly how you view time, and everybody's like, oh, I never have enough time to do this, I don't have enough time to do that. Well, if you really just sit there and focus for like even a minute, and just sit there and see how long a minute really is and how much you can get done in just 1 minute, see if you can set aside 5 minutes or 10 minutes. That's what people would consider, a short amount of time. But if you transform your mentality on how you view time, that could be a way longer, period for you. You can get a lot more done. And what somebody would say, oh, I wouldn't even thought that you could do that in that amount of time. So just make sure that you keep on thinking about it. And I got these people walking up with their dogs, but make sure that you keep thinking about it as you go along. Don't let nothing stop you. Like even with that right there, when you set your mind on something, set your intentions on something, like you never let that stop you. You got to keep moving forward and always rising up. And you can't let anything, any adversity, anything that's coming at you, you can't let that stop you, because the moment that you do is the moment that saying you start leaving yourself open and vulnerable to stopping that flow, stopping getting that that Trinity emotion, so you got to just keep going and not and stay shielded and keep yourself protected out there, because the more you do that, you're showing more love to yourself, showing more love to those around you, because I make these videos because I love you all. I want you all to be able to to start rising up and start feeling that love yourselves. Start experiencing these different things, not just researching it and thinking about it, actually applying that information, actually seeing how it affects your life. What effects it has on those around you, because as you go through this journey, your observation will also start raising up, and you can't let any of that and distract you. You know, you're saying your observation is going to go up, so now you're going to be able to realize different things. You know, but as long as you can, alchemize that situation, you will be able to, gain a new understanding, and after a while, an overstanding on different things. Certain things on my journey, I don't fully overstand, but I've come to a good understanding or understanding on it. So, especially with, sticking to your goals, like you have to be able to, look within you and be like, okay, this is something that I want to set. That's these are things that I want to be able to do. Okay, now how can I start to do those? You don't necessarily have to make a plan for it, but you do have to have that original intention on what you want to do. Because without that intention, it makes it a lot harder to be able to do these things. But the stronger your intentions, the more that you focus on it, you'll be able to get these things done. You got to have that mental acuity, that spiritual acuity, that physical acuity to go out and do all these things. You got to get it on all three fronts, keeping that trinity in motion, spiritual, mental, and physical. Because without all three, is I'm not going to say it's impossible, because it's not, because that's putting a limit on yourself. No, but it is a lot harder for you to get into that flow and to do the things that you want to do. So just keep that in mind. And I wanted to get back onto the time aspect of it. So with that being said, that mental acuity, that physical acuity, being able to really feel those senses about what you have going on around you, that will help you in going along your journey. That will let you know, hey, this little short expanse of time, or what people would say is a short expanse of time, man, I could get in so much stuff. I didn't even think, I'm on break at work. I got a little 10-15 minute break at work. How about I go over here and meditate for 5 minutes, or I go over here and try to set my attentions on something for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. These are little things that you do throughout the day that you can start building up on. And then these become habits, different rituals. Because you're doing them every day. It becomes a ritual for yourself. So you start doing these different things, and then you consistently do them, and then you'll start seeing the build up, that momentum, that getting that trinity in motion. And once you get that momentum built up, I made a video on your momentum. Once you start getting that momentum, built up, then you're limitless. The possibilities are limitless. You get to see what's within and without. You get to see the yin and the yang. You get to see both sides of it. But when you are setting these goals and everything, just make sure you keep in balance, because one side of the spectrum, you might be doing too much. Another side of the spectrum, you're not doing enough. And only you can tell, exactly what's too much and what's not enough for you. Nobody else can really tell you that. That's something that you have to go within, and start inner searching on. One of the things that, I'll say, you got your outer search, your research, and then your inner search, because certain things, nobody can tell you. You can't pick it up out of a book, off an article, off a website. You have to experience it. You have to really meditate on it, internalize it, see what it means for you. Because not everybody's truth is going to be your truth. You might come to a different understanding than somebody else. It's not saying that it's a wrong understanding. That's your understanding. That's what understanding is. That is within you. Saying that's something that comes from within. That's something that, saying from the deepness, the deepest part of your being, your spirit, that you come to that understanding of it. You have that strong base, that strong footing. Well, I'm not going to go into that, but I'll just make a quick note, like going into your chakras, starting from your root and working your way up. You got to have a strong base point in order to build yourself up. So as you go through, you got to have that good standing, that base point, and then just start working from there. And then as you start working from there, you'll be able to bring about even more understandings and understandings on things. You'll get even more knowledge on what's going on around you, and be able to really start spreading that love, feeling that love. First, when you start feeling that love, and then you start seeing that love around you, you start seeing everything that's going on around you, and then you truly appreciate and show that gratitude for what goes on around you and how it affects you and how it helps you to grow. Because everything that you do is going to help you grow. And as you go start growing, you might want to start doing different things. You're going to need to have be able to set aside that time, have that discipline on on what you're actually going to do and how you're going to do it. You got to really, set those intentions on that. That's going to be one big thing that I'll keep stressing, is your intentions. So, do your own inner search on saying what your intentions can do. You can do the research on it. There's a lot of research on it. There's not a lot of information out there on the web and everything about it. But until you actually, bring that within,